Hey man, what up? You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with your hosts, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee, man. These are some good old boys from New Orleans, and you should just kick back, open your ear holes, and listen, man. Have fun. JMU saying, snooch to the dooch.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Stun everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libation.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this episode, we discuss the latest Disney price hikes and the She-Hulk finale. And look, this is your typical polished practice pixie dust of Disney podcast. No, sir. We are not in the parks every day trying to tell you, well, we're actually not in the parks every day because it's gotten freaking expensive.
Hell yeah, Cap. That's why we just sit here, drink, talk Disney, and welcome you to our hoopla.
Hoopla!
And oh yeah, if you like that, you're going to cock loose yourself into another episode, my friends.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And Lee, and remember, if you book a vacation with me, it'll make you want to shout, not Hulk out.
So guys, look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go put on this show. All right, man. So that sound means we got a couple of announcements real quick. Just want to do a quick little remembrance, man. Of course, Hagrid. We saw he passed away. The actor, Robbie Coltrane, passed away, man. Left us with a great interpretation of that iconic character from the books. So
He is Hagrid.
He is Hagrid. No, there is no doubt. For many generations to come, he is definitely a Hagrid.
He was J.K. Rowling's personal choice.
Yeah, man, I'm speechless because we lost two great ones.
Yeah.
Robbie Coltrane, and the second one, which I'm bringing up, Angela Lansbury. Man, I saw that news, and I was both of those, and I was just heartbroken on each one. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So big, man. Angela Lansbury for sure, definitely in the Disneyverse, man, things like Beauty and the Beast, Mrs. Potts.
Of course.
Anastasia, she played the grandma that was looking for a daughter at the time. A lot of people love that movie. Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Of course.
Mary Poppins Return. She had that cameo.
Yeah.
And if you're an 80s kid, man, Murder, She Wrote.
Oh.
That was a bonding moment for me and my mom. My mom loved the intro to that show.
Oh, it's a great intro, man.
It
I
is.
love that one. The music, she's sitting there typing, all that kind of stuff. Man, it's just like two iconic actors, man. It's just we lost in 1 week. I was like, damn.
That's crazy.
Damn.
She was a treasure. Like, we were talking, me and my wife in the car, as we are coming here to record, and, my wife's like, yeah, but she lived a long life. She was like, what, 96?
Yeah.
Something like that. And I was like, yeah, no, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like when Betty White passed. It was just nice to know that she was still out there.
Yeah.
And the world just seems a little bit emptier knowing, like, those, I don't know, those kindly grandma figures that we grew up with.
The classics.
Yes. It's like that very
yeah.
matriarchally type feeling
Yeah.
that those women portrayed. It was great.
Like, I don't even know who else would belong in that
In that
category.
trash.
Yeah, like, who else would...
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, well, I think we were talking
That's
about.
more like the patriarchal side.
Patriarchal. I thought we were.
The matriarchal side.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Julie Andrews, but I mean, she never came across as a grandma.
Not as much, no. Yeah.
She never played that kindly grandma-like figure. So I don't know, and I don't want to insult any actress out there by calling them a grandma. Although I just watched Halloween Ends, and Jamie Lee might qualify, but she's a hot grandma.
I gotta watch that.
Jamie Lee's a little different, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a category on her own.
She's pretty visceral, though.
Like
that's
a gilf.
That's a very physical person to be doing that.
Yeah.
But
No, But anyway, off the rails with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but much respect.
Robbie
to Miss
Coltrane,
Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury,
Yeah.
thank you for everything you have done. Rest in peace, please. Y'all deserve it. And thank
Absolutely.
you for just even giving us your renditions, your art to the characters you portray. Because as Danny said, Robbie Coltrane will forever be Hagrid, and Angela Lansbury will forever be my Mrs. Potts.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
That voice is just. I mean, that's it. That's the voice. That's what I want to hear Mrs. Potts sound like
Yeah.
when it happens. So, thank you guys.
Classy.
Here we are on the queue, and this is the segment in which we get to discuss all the news and happenings in the world today. So first off, we're going to turn it over to our resident travel agent, Lee, who's going to talk about these recent Disney Genie changes. Lee, what's going on, man?
Well-
Changes.
Exactly. Constantly changing. But yeah, so some changes have come across recently to the Disney Genie system. You know, this system that we've all grown to love and adore, that we all are just head over heels about using as we're in the parks. It's not complicated in any kind of way.
Man, I haven't grown Jack, dude. It's only been around for a year. I ain't grown to love Jack.
Hey, good damn.
Get out of here.
Jack Wood.
Well, isn't that kind of part of it, right? Like, this thing hasn't even been here a year yet, and they've already changed it once to where you can't book it preemptively. You can only book day to day, right? You used to be able to book your.
But Lee, you know, like any good pixie duster would say, it's like, oh, Disney does this all the time. It's no problem. They make changes all that freaking time.
Can you do the really good pixie dust?
Yeah. Eli, you know, it's people. Disney makes changes to these programs all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So this is nothing. This is nothing out of the ordinary. This is totally normal.
Normal.
It's inflation. Everyone's raising the prices.
It's okay.
It's not like Disney has done this every year.
We can afford it.
And I'm sorry to whoever's editing. I'm going to say, pixie duster, you, man.
Oh, wow.
You, man. No, it's not true, and I'll fight you.
Feel it.
Bring it, man. You want positivity? I'm positive you're wrong.
Positive is wrong. That just happened.
They admit when they make a mistake, so and they're gonna and they admit when they're really gonna try to get money out of you. So let's. I don't know. I'm assuming a lot.
It's the app though. Once,
that.
twice, 3 times.
A lady.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. She's
All right.
just as
All right, Lee.
expensive.
All right, Lisa. What's the changes? What we got going on? I'm assuming a lot. What's
All right, so the change is basically that they are going to start charging you more for it. I think that's the short answer, right?
Oh, calling me shocked?
Charge.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Charge for what?
Wait, zoom in on Kevin. This is Kevin's shocked face. That will be.
That's great.
That's going to be on the YouTube.
That's our artwork for the.
That's priceless
episode.
right there.
Yes,
I
yes.
like that.
That's our artwork for the episode.
I thought you were going to eat YouTube
I
for a
should.
second when
Yes.
you went right in there.
My shocked face. That was my shocked.
That was very shocking.
People have O faces. I have shocked faces.
So at Disneyland, the first thing that's going to happen is that the price will be going up to $25 per day per person if you use this as an upfront add-on, which you can still do at Disneyland. So that's a positive. But it's going from
That's
20 to 25. Yeah. So, but if you choose to do a single day, if you choose to do just various days, don't do your whole package at Disneyland, the price will begin at $25 per day.
That's bad.
And it will vary by date based on demand.
That's worse.
Damn.
Okay.
Begin.
Now they're
Wow.
going to do the same thing at Walt Disney World. Okay. So right now, the current price, well, not now, but before the change, it was $15 per guest per day. So starting basically immediately, the price will fluctuate just like at Disneyland based on the day of the week, the peak season, et cetera, et cetera. So your price may be $15 a day per guest on the less busy days, but it could be as much as $22 on some of our busier days.
Oh.
And it could be anywhere in between on any other date. So anywhere from $15 to $22 per day, depending on quote unquote how busy it's going to be.
When it gets more busy,
Yeah.
the price goes up. When it gets busy, the price goes down. Oh, let's get busy, the price goes up. The price less busy, the price goes down. What's up?
We can't afford either one.
Damn.
How you doing?
So how do they determine the price? Does the Disney groundhog come out, and if it sees its shadow, it's $22?
The mouse. the field mouse, as it were.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
It sees 2 ears and you're screwed.
Do they squeeze the goat's testicles? And
I'm just going to say,
Squeeze.
Does Disney give out like travel stamps? That's like food stamps for travel? Because
No, they have a coupon day.
What day? That should be every day. That should be every day now. I mean,
coupons.
Yeah, I got a coupon.
We need a balance there. That's wow.
Well, it's funny you say that, Danny, because I asked the same question to our agency owner when this was announced. I said, well, right now they do the same thing with tickets, right? Tickets on some days are cheaper. But you can see that on the calendar. If you just look on the calendar, be like, oh, on October 14th, the tickets are going to be this price. Mm-hmm. On November 7th, the tickets are going to be this price. So you can kind of see what the prices will be. But with this, there is no chart to look. I'm assuming they know when their busier days are going to be, but there's no way to know in advance of how much that price is going to be. So this is where my problem with this situation comes in. Like, if I understand prices are going to go up, I don't think that there's any denying that things are going to go up eventually. I mean, your grocery bill, I'm sure, has gone up as much over the last few months.
Oh, at 4 a.m. I go up.
Oh, yeah, I got to choose between getting a steak and gas from my truck. This is tough decisions every week.
You might as well just put the steak in your truck.
I might, or, start riding my steak.
The grocery trip costs as much as our house note nowadays.
I've seen y'all bill. You're not kidding.
I am not kidding.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, but, Lee, you say that, but
It's crazy.
They do the same thing with the hotels. I mean, they charge higher. I mean, even with DVC or even with cash, they charge higher prices on times that are more, I guess, and what they view as busy than other times.
Yeah, and again, I don't really have an issue with the price increase. That's not my problem with it.
I have an issue with the price.
I do.
Money hurt.
We just talked about that 2 weeks ago. We just talked about the T plan, $800 and some dollars an hour and all that. And there's a price increase on top of that. That's enough.
I mean, the price increased, but my paycheck's not increased.
Well, it's like when you've got a loyal fan base who'd gladly spend every last dollar to give their family that once-a-year Disney theme park vacation, but times have gotten harder due to inflation and money has gotten tighter.
Catch back.
What would Walt do in this situation? Why, he'd raise prices, of course.
Of course. Cheer everybody up. Nothing cheers your public fan base up more than raising the prices.
Look, I know it's kind of a cliche, the whole "what would Walt do" thing. Walt spinning in his grave. I know it's a tired, played out kind of adage, but it just, I don't know. I mean, this isn't really news. Lee's right. It happens every year. It's like it's like Joe Hollenbach would say. The sky is blue, water is wet, and Disney raises prices.
Disney raises prices.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's just that, all these Disney executives who like to talk about the lessons they learned from Walt and how they aspire to be more like him. I wish they learned to eat like Walt and dine on canned chili and hamburgers.
Yeah, I understand.
So that maybe Disney wouldn't feel justified in raising prices every year, so they can keep giving huge bonuses to their executives.
Yeah, smoke more
and we
cigarettes.
could afford to still go.
Yeah, we don't have a choice, and that's the thing that kills me. I mean, it's funny how the price hike evolution conversation has evolved. Where it was like, I ain't paying no more, but like we don't have a choice, right? This is the vacation. But now it's at a point where it's like, look, if I gotta choose between eating and then going on a vacation, please don't make me do that. And it's not fair to say what would Walt do in the sense that Walt wasn't exposed to all this level of multimedia. Like, it's not like this is the only way they get income. That's all I'm saying on that.
No, absolutely not. But look, they're a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
Just like Exxon or Microsoft. I mean, we like to look at it differently, I guess, because they sell magic and pixie dust.
They sell inspiration.
Yeah. But
yeah,
just like any other corporation, they're going for that $20 billion profit every single
Bottom
year.
line, yeah.
Even if it means that customers are paying more for less, even if it means the guest experience suffers, cast members still can't make a yearly wage, maintenance continues to be ignored. Even if you're not getting anything for that money, they'll continue to do this, and they're going to do it until people say no. And then, for the most part, I think a lot of us have said no, because my Disney vacation, I mean, it used to be twice a year. Now it's down to once a year. It might go down further.
That much. Yeah.
And well, it has to be. Look, it's in business. People are trying to please the stockholders, right? Because that's who they feel is keeping them afloat, and throwing all the money at them really quick, really fast. But if everyone was like, hey, look, that's enough of this price hike. I'm done. Well, then, yeah, the price was like, hey, I need my money back. And then, and only then, will you see a change, my friend.
That's the only way.
Yeah, ask any parent. Only thing that'll stop terrible behavior is terrible consequences.
Oh, a good belt. J-Peck, but get my belt for you.
I think that
And your
qualifies
stockholders.
as terrible consequences.
That's right. You got to do James Evans on these stockholders right now.
The public.
Well, I mean,
says no.
that's the thing, right? I mean, there's still such a high demand for Disney vacations.
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
That's the
There's-
thing.
Right
Yeah.
now, if you try to book a vacation in March, there's going to be some weeks that are already have hotels that are booked up and things like that.
You know, is it necessarily that the demand is so high, or is it because there are, and I don't know this, I'm just asking the question. You probably, none of us are economists here. I don't really keep up with this kind of stuff, but it just seems to me at this point in time, the COVID days are over. Anyone who was waiting to get that COVID vacation in has gotten it in. You know, like for a while, I mean, that's what they were telling us, right? That so many people were just so anxious to go that when COVID stopped and no one had to wear a face mask, everyone flooded the gates, and that's what we've been dealing with. I'm wondering if the spike in crowds is still as bad as it used to be.
As far as justifying the cost of the price hike?
Well, I'm saying
Or just
that,
in general, we're talking about supply and demand.
is it
right?
the same
That's what we're talking
crowds
about.
that have always gone and they're jacking the price up just so they can continue to make the money off the people who can still afford to go? Or
I think that's the thing. It's like there's always somebody that can afford to do it.
exactly.
And if
Yeah.
they can eliminate the riffraff, so to speak, then the happier for them.
I think the thing is that they have the ability to have to exceed a reach and then say, oh, I don't think we were able to grasp that. In that they have multimedia and all this other stuff that they went and took over. And then they're like, ooh, maybe this was too much. And I think they know that the park is the bread and butter.
That's it.
And that's where they pull it from. So I don't really think it's a matter of how many people will attend. I think it's on a, and again, to your
Yeah.
point, I'm not an economist.
How much can we squeeze the people who are going to come here
Yeah.
because they're doing well and the inflation isn't really affecting them? They still make
Right.
enough money to do this. How much can we squeeze these people before they say stop?
Well, I'm not really wanting to argue about prices. I mean, I think we're all on the same page that,
Sure.
yes, the prices are a little bit high and it's harder for the average person to afford a Disney vacation. I don't think that's a secret. What drives me nuts about this whole thing is, like, why do they want to make things more complicated every single time, right?
So what you're asking is why the hell they had to go and make things so complicated?
So complicated.
Exactly. Things are just so faded.
Yeah, because when you acted
just-
like this, they get you so frustrated.
So frustrated.
Well,
But-
it's like college. It's like if you want this vacation, how many hoops are you willing to jump through to get it?
Exactly. Now, it's like, it's bad enough that you're trying to explain the system to a client,
Hey.
right? So you're like, okay, yeah, so no, you're going to have to get up every morning and pay for this Genie each day after, you've been out the parks all night. And then, okay, so how, and then individual lightning lane as well that you got to pay extra for. Okay, so how much is that? Well, it just depends. It could be this much. It could be that much. It could be 15. It could be okay.
Oh, dang.
But it's only one ride. Right? All right, cool. So now you got to say all that plus, well, how much is the Genie going to cost me in the morning? Well, it depends. It could be 15. It could be 22. It could be 20. Is it a Wednesday? Is it a Saturday?
Place your bets. Place your bets.
It's a whiskey drink.
wow.
or a
No,
vodka
no,
drink?
Lane?
That's a
Two.
Vox Jake.
Where's the savings? Where?
What do you want? What do you want?
How do you explain that to someone that's trying to budget for their vacation? Like, yeah, I don't know how much it's going to cost, man. Just they're going to tell you when you get there. That's how much it's going to. And not only that, but this email came to us on the day that it changed. It changed on October 11th. We got the email on October 11th at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Nice.
So we didn't even have like fair warning to our clients to be like, oh, by the way, that $15 per day that we talked about 6 months ago when you booked this trip, that's no longer true. No,
Surprise!
today. This is when it starts.
This is bad. You know why? This reminds me of the time I
Michael
had.
Jackson's bad?
No, it's not that bad. That's good album right
That's a good
there.
bad. Okay.
That was good bad. But this is almost like hood street car mechanic bad.
Oh.
You ever had a hood street car mechanic?
No.
Okay. I won't even go into bad detail.
I trust it's bad.
It was very bad. My brakes went out one time.
Yeah.
And I went to the street hood car mechanic, nice guy, but he basically
AutoZone.
No, that's the point. It was no AutoZone. It was not someone that worked. He had no price list. We had an argument because I was like, hey, can you tell me how this works? And he's like, I can't. I can only tell you after I'm done with the job. That's not how business works.
This is the part. It's July. It's hot.
It's hot. I got a lot of
charge
stuff
you
going
more.
on. Yeah.
My baby woman is pregnant.
You laughing, but that's how the conversation went.
I'm not laughing because I know that's how it works.
But that's how this sounds to me. He's
It
like,
does.
this is not how. He was like, I don't do business like that. And I'm like, well, how do you do business? Like, yeah, my baby, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, sir.
Well, it depends if it's a leap year, and if it's
Exactly.
a leap year.
And if Venus is aligned with your mama,
If you show up
Exactly.
on Wednesday and come back on Saturday, then
Right.
maybe your vacation will cost this much. Like, no.
So we boil that down. Are you saying that Chapek is street hood?
I'm going to say that's some hood stuff. That's
Ooh.
like anything else I compare, and I'll say, oh, man, that's like a, exotic
what color
dancer.
scarf you wearing?
Yeah, this is street hood mechanic logic.
He's not
right
a blood
here.
or crip. He's like a whole new thing.
This is a whole new level right here.
baldy.
Hoopla. All right?
Let me tell you this.
Hoopla.
Let me tell you this, Eli. Let me give this one to you. What about if you 6 months ago booked your vacation, and then at 60 days out, you said, my kid wants to do the lightsaber. Okay, how much is that? $220. All right, cool. That's expensive, but I think he'll love it. I think he'll be worth it.
That's what they tell you
I'm
beforehand.
going to book that. I'm going to make my reservation today, $220. Cool.
Okay, got
Then
it.
you get to the park, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, the price has been raised to $260.
That street mechanic stuff, right to the lightsaber.
$250.
Right to the
$250.
lightsaber. Because the street mechanic always tells you, get your old parts. Just like this lightsaber at Disney. Get your old parts. They don't even do that for you.
So not only did they not send you an email to say, "Oh, by the way, that reservation you booked, it's gone up to $250." By
Yep.
the way, so when you get
You got to
just
pay the
showed up.
difference. You still got to pay the
Yes.
difference.
Pay the difference. They don't tell you the labor. Like, this is street hood mechanic stuff.
Chapek
You're
is-
welcome.
Chapek hood.
Chapek straight hood.
Straight hood, bro.
All the hood.
We gotta play his
from
game.
the hood. Look, just because.
Am I his brother's keeper?
Yes, we are. Y'all might hate it. Y'all may love it, but this is how it is. This is feel it.
Armor Wars. Here we
Boom.
go.
The one thing about this that really kind of gets me is the Disney Genie Plus thing. Because it wasn't all that long ago when Disney was warning us to lower expectations for Disney Genie Plus, telling us that, well, this is a non-refundable service and you're only really going to get about 2 to 3 attractions per day. So you can pay for it, but just understand this is all you're going to get. Well, apparently now we're not paying enough for just 2 to 3 attractions per day.
Can never pay enough for Disney.
It's either that or Genie Plus has greatly improved within the year that it's been around, and I guess that's possible, but that would be news to me. As far as I
No.
can tell, you still don't have the option to modify existing reservations, which is important. You still don't have the option to what was the other thing that we always used to complain about with Disney Genie Plus?
Staying up really late at night.
multiple
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, staying up late to go. But I mean, also have the multiple times by which to book instead of like being like, yeah, you can book this next one at like 9:20 a.m. I'm not going to be at 9:20 a.m. Can I get 11:15? Nope, 9:20 a.m. I don't want that. I want to be able to stay. Nope, can't do that. You have to take what we're giving you. Is that not about right for Disney Genie
Yeah,
Plus?
no, it's absolutely right. And you know what it is? It's a purely data decision. Come from a businessman.
Yeah.
And they see the numbers of utilization is there enough for them to justify raising the price on it. And that's it.
Right.
There's no other aspect that has been brought into this consideration that would warrant this particular up in charge, other than data. That's pure data. It's like people are using it. Great, let's charge more. That's it.
What about all of us who spent our money helping you to work out the kinks of this crappy system that never got their value for the money that they spent on this thing? Now it's like, no. Buy it again. It's going to cost more. We didn't really make any improvement. Now we'll let you know. The only improvement that I know of they made was they let you know when to book your next one.
Hey, but Cogaloosh, go further back than that. How about just the fact of having the pandemic happen, and when no one was supposed to go anywhere, and then once they opened the gates up, all those fans came back to say, hey, you don't have to take a massive loss. We still there for you. That's a huge thing that you should pay back to your fans.
I guess, I get charging more for the stuff that we like, but charging more for the stuff that we need.
Well, that's grocery store.
Is really
Hood mechanic
It's
stuff.
very capitalist.
And hood mechanic, right?
Capitalist.
Yeah, this is where, because ticket prices and room rates are not that far behind.
Yeah.
And Disney Genie Plus is probably something that you're going to need on most days, depending on when you go, depending on how busy the parks are.
If you want a shot of anything.
If you want a shot at anything, at least individual lightning lane. That's, I don't know, man. That's the part that ticks me off about this whole thing. Disney Genie Plus, more than anything else, that's what ticks me off. Because y'all delivered us a crappy system that still hasn't been improved to the level it needs to be improved upon, and now we're paying more for this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Express Pass, you get to walk on any ride you want.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to know what the listeners think. Show at magicourway.com. Look, if you're of the Pixie Duster ilk, man, be ready to have a conversation about it.
Please.
Even if we have differing opinions. And speaking of differing opinions, all right, for this hub, we want to talk about the ending of the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe offering, and that is the She-Hulk television series, which just came to an end last Thursday, with its finale, episode 9. Yeah, it was episode 9, where a lot of things happened. So I guess we're not gonna do this like a normal review. We're just gonna talk about how it ended and maybe some general thoughts about the whole series. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the spoiler bumper.
Yeah,
there's
definitely spoilers.
We're going to go straight into spoilers. Because if you haven't seen this yet, go ahead and pause this section, maybe jump to the end or jump to our next segment or whatever else. But, y'all, this is going to be spoiler-filled discussion about She-Hulk series. Spoilers. So, yeah, the series just ended with a rather interesting ending, of course, to this cinematic. And in fact, the entire series, I think, has been rather different than the recent offerings in the past year, for sure.
I love your choice of words, Kevin. I can't say that enough. You got a good choice. I totally would have said something more crass, but thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, you can. That's what our show's for.
No, I don't want to give you extra editing work. I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah, so it ended rather strangely, and so we're here to talk about specifically the finale.
Yes.
We can talk about everything else, but
I don't really want to talk about anything else.
All right, we can talk about finale.
I feel like the less said about this show, the better, because I've watched every episode of the show. And
Yes, I have to.
Yeah, I have to. Lee, did you?
No, I actually just watched this. Well, I didn't watch the whole episode. I just kind of watched the end or what I thought maybe was going to be the controversy about it today.
You just jumped to the end.
He's not really.
Yeah, I was like, well, this last episode. I mean, this looks like about where there might be some bullshit happening. Let me go start here.
Well,
Lee's like, what are we recording about today?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Exactly.
To Lee's credit, he's always
Yes,
professed.
that's true,
He's like, I'm not a Marvel guy. I will support my co-host.
You
when
watch
they
it 'cause
this
we watch
stuff,
it, but
And
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you very much for that.
Appreciate
And
it.
I am sorry you had to go through this particular view. I want you to be a Marvel fan. I need you to be a Marvel fan. And I'm not a purist, but
Yeah.
this killed me on the inside. It
Well,
really
look,
did.
To move the conversation.
Please,
a little
you
bit
do
forward.
you good with the words, yeah. Because I feel it emotional right now.
So now we all know we've all watched every episode of this show, except for Lee. And
He
to
just
me-
watched the episode.
he just
That's it.
watched the episode. But that's all he needs to watch.
Yeah.
It's really all he
Pretty
needs
much.
to watch in order to be able to
That's
have
true,
this
you're right.
discussion.
Don't
So
need to be invested.
No.
Good job doing the bare minimum, Lee. It'll pay off for you on this one.
There you go.
Quiet quitting. All right, quiet quitting.
This series has been very hit or miss. It's been very good or bad. I love the premise of the show. I love the character of the She-Hulk. And Eli and I have kind of gone back and forth for years because I've always wanted to do a superhero. I might as well just throw it out there because we're never going to do it. But I always wanted to do.
Wait, copyright Danny Lawless,
Yes.
2022.
Yeah, don't put Eli Avery in because Eli's fought me every step of the way in this. But I always wanted to do a comic book about an attorney who defends supervillains. I thought it would be a great story. Kind of just a regular guy who his business is defending supervillains and all the anarchy and chaos and all the legal. So
Again,
this,
a copyright Danny Laws 2022.
Yes.
I must repeat that.
This was very much up my alley, and
So you bought in right off the
Yeah,
bat.
for 100%.
Off the bat.
Like I couldn't wait to see it, and the show. Well, it married two concepts I loved. I would watch in awe because sometimes they would do things that I actually scripted for our comic, and it would just it would be a gut punch. But other times they would just kind of had a promise, and they would just kind of let it fall flat because they were busy pushing.
This
Shall we say
weird
an
love
agenda? Yeah.
Love agenda.
So
love
in one
agenda.
instance, you were like, motherfucker. And on the other side, you're like, damn it.
Well, let's just say it. They seem more concerned about who She-Hulk was f***ing on a week-to-week basis than really getting into
this
her
story and the
Story
hero
and-
stuff.
right.
Hero
I mean, like, seriously, has any other superhero had more on-screen sex than She-Hulk did?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones?
Oh, man. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. I love those scenes.
No, you know what? No,
I've never seen this one.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
No, those are hot.
He's right. No, he's right because Jessica Jones, she hit like a couple of dudes, and She-Hulk.
Shit, Luke Cage. And that
She-Hulk was
awesome.
She-Hulk was pulling all kind of dudes and was like, "You gonna get this green tonight."
I've watched 8 Batman movies, and as best as I can tell, Batman in the movies has only been signaled to have had sex with Vicky Vale and Miranda Tate, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Talia al Ghul. In 8 30-minute episodes,
Yeah, she hooked up.
This woman hooked up with more people than
Yeah.
Batman hooked up with in
Yeah.
8 full-length featured movies.
Yeah, like if Giving It Up turned you into Hulk, she should have been the Hulk every episode.
And I'm
all
like,
day.
what about the legal drama? Oh, we're just going to play lip service to that. We're just,
Yeah, they
this
did do that,
really
yeah.
has nothing
And that was
to
your
do.
concern. I didn't have this. I've never had this discussion with you, but one day he told me about this show. He's like, "Man, they took the idea. There's a whole genesis of that, but that should be a Patreon thing if someone
Well,
is
it
brave
sounds
enough."
like they didn't really take your idea. You
But
can still
They
do it.
didn't, but
They
like,
did. That's
one of
what
the
I was trying to
things
say.
that they
On the
did
other side, yeah.
was the ending of the. I don't
Oh,
want
the
to
series?
get. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
No, he's talking about. Yeah, I know. He's talking about
yeah, yeah.
Leapfrog. whatever.
We'll again
Yeah.
Patreon.
Okay, but again, yeah, Patreon. Get that. That's the real stuff. Real stuff.
Convince Eli to do this story because Eli fights me every step of the way on this because he needs
I said, they don't know my
way
side.
more fight sequences than I can give him.
My original idea was Patreon. Get that.
Patreon, all right.
Patreon,
Right.
and you can choose. You can choose.
So we come to the ending, and
Yes.
damn, like I watched something that I couldn't believe any writer would possibly have the hubris to put on screen.
Yeah,
I mean, Intelligentsia, this big evil organization looking to destroy She-Hulk, who in the comics was a team of supervillains led by MOW, was it?
yeah.
This evil genius, the Dr. Evil, if you will.
Oh, wait. In the comic books, Intelligentsia was run by MODOK?
Yeah, we
Yes.
know about
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh,
Big
God.
head dude, small legs, small
We didn't
arms.
get. Yo, I know MODOK. I was like, I've been waiting for MODOK in MCU, but no MODOK.
But that was just for the listener.
They made Intelligentsia a group of angry fanboys
Right.
Pretty much.
A lot of
who
white
just
people.
hate on female
There was one brother
superheroes.
up
A
in
lot
there.
of white men, yeah.
One
Yeah.
brother.
There was one brother?
There was a
Brothers
brother.
like, brothers
Yeah,
like.
he was from the suburbs.
They're
Yeah.
like, man, she got a job and she got good hair. I'll take that.
But they just hate on female superheroes
Yeah.
for no other reason than the fact that they're female superheroes, apparently.
Yeah, they
And-
never really justify why that hate was there.
But I think what they were trying to do, and this is how it came across to me,
Okay.
is it was a giant middle finger to their fans who think that making more than one of the exact same superhero with the exact same powers is lazy writing
Oh, okay.
and unimaginative storytelling, and they critique it, and instead of listening to the critique, they do what people like to do. They reduce. It's very reductive reasoning. They just reduce your argument to no. It's not that you want imaginative storytelling built around a superhero. No. You just hate women. You just hate female
Oh,
superheroes.
yeah,
It's
okay.
very reductive, angry dismissive nonsense.
of a character. But dang, like this law thing between us is totally divisive because I thought you were going a completely different way.
No, this is what pissed me off about it.
Oh.
It was like anybody that has a problem with, because, all right, so here's my issue with this, all right?
I got a different issue, but okay.
No. Let me
with the
flesh
ending.
out my
I'm-
issue.
I'm good. I
So
mean,
this is the issue with the ending, right? Just to
Right,
clarify
yeah,
for anybody.
yes.
Because
All right.
the Hulk is special. She-Hulk is kind of special. She's not the original, but she's still kind of unique because she's kind of doing a different thing with it because of the attorney twist. And that's cool. But once you add in the Red Hulk, the Gray Hulk, the Old Hulk, the Smart Hulk, the Scar Hulk, once everybody is a Hulk, what's so fucking special about being a damn Hulk?
well, I mean, it depends on the background, but I hear you. I hear you.
It's like Superman. Like when you had a Superman, that's great. Superman, he's so unique. He's friggin' Superman. But then when there's a Superboy and a Supergirl and a Superwoman and Crypto the Superdog, it gets watered down. And suddenly being super is pretty friggin' ordinary.
Well, that's true, but there's always the original that you
it's-
gotta love.
That's
And
like
so-
Syndrome's thing in Incredibles. Like if everybody's super,
No one's,
no
one's
one's super.
super.
Yeah.
And that is the fan critique when you take an established hero's power and just give them to somebody else and say, here, run with this. It's like the NWO. When the NWO, this is a wrestling thing, so if
Give
I
it
lose
to
you on
him. No,
this-
I know where you're going.
Yeah,
Give it to
when
him.
the NWO debuted, 3 top-level stars, Kevin Nash, Diesel, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, rest in peace, and Hulk Hogan. And what happened is that this group was so hot that they said to themselves, well, we don't know how to make anybody else an established superstar, so just give it an NWO t-shirt. They just joined the NWO, and they kept throwing them t-shirts, and that's how they tried to get people over. Make them a part of this. Make them a part of this. Make them a part of this, until they watered it down so much that no one gave a damn
It
anymore.
was like 4 different factions.
Right, and then suddenly, when everyone was NWO meant nothing. And that is the criticism. And instead of hearing that, what they just said is, nope, they hate women.
Wow. See, like for people that listen to the show or watch the videos and like these guys plan what they say this is an example of how that is not how this works. We don't talk to each other about certain things
Before the show. no.
Before the show.
Also, if that's really what it is, if all the fanboys out there really just hate female superheroes, please explain to me Rogue. Please explain to me Storm.
Oh, we go. Yeah, no.
I mean, damn, please explain to me Jean Grey, Gamora, Scarlet Witch,
Jubilee.
Black Widow, any of the number of female superheroes that fanboys absolutely love.
Yeah.
Explain that to me if there's just a group of people out there just looking to hate on female superheroes for no reason.
I love to see women dress as superheroes in the conventions. I just want to say that out loud. Right now, I got no problem with that. But, okay, I'm sorry, sir.
No, I just wanted to say that because that's what it came across as me. Is that any criticism of the fact that you're watering down, the powers of the superhero by just giving those same powers to everybody else is a little. And I'm not even saying this applies to She-Hulk because I thought She-Hulk had a unique twist.
It does. It always does.
But, I mean,
She-Hulk always did, I should say.
Batman had Azrael. They tried to make him the Batman. It didn't work.
Nightwing, they had to make him Batman in the comics.
It just, whenever you just pawn off somebody's superpowers onto somebody else, people look at it as lazy writing.
The Clone Saga for Spider-Man. Perfect example.
Oh my God, there was a blue Superman and everyone lost their mind.
Oh, well, that's when he died, and it, like you had the
and then
cyborg Superman.
Then they gave you a steel Superman.
Yeah.
They gave you the robot Superman.
There was Cyborg.
Oh God, there
Blue
was so
Superman.
many.
There was Electric Superman who didn't have the normal powers of Superman. He just kind of looked like Superman. Yes.
And again, there were so many Superman that people were like, "Who's the damn Superman?"
Yeah, well, that's what.
Bizarro Superman. That's him too.
All the Superman. Like, in comics, you touch a spot. But in comics, it is tough to say that in the 90s, a lot of weird stuff happened. But yes, when you have a multiplicity of things, it always implodes. And it totally does. Perfect example, to add to Danny's point, is X-Men #1. Anybody's a fan of Jim Lee, which you should be, when they did multiple covers of that, it sold like gangbusters. So then Marvel was like, oh, this is before Disney bought them. Just saying, but this is part of the reason why they bought them. Is when they made covers of other books. They're like, let's just make multiple covers and put gloss and all this other stuff on them. And then they realized people, like he said, were like, yeah, I'm done with this. Now these people are in the hole, and boom, Disney owns them. And that's what brings us to this point. And to your point, I had a weird problem with her being, it was too Sex in the City, not enough
Promiscuous?
Yeah. I would want my hero to be a hero. I don't really care about the gender or whatever.
Yeah, to care about doing the public good, not just hooking up.
Right. But here was the thing where we differed, but we agreed is that in the comics, because like John Byrne did this, right?
Yeah.
And in the comics, she would do this fourth wall thing. Like she would, like in the comics, the character looks at you like, "Yeah, you think I could beat this person or whatever?" And that was what made it the sensational She-Hulk and like old school stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't mind that in the past episodes. I don't need to go into that.
I didn't mind that either. Yeah.
But in this last one, here was what I thought, as a fan, they kind of crapped on me. They took the whole story that was built up to that point and then just said, you know what? We don't want to even figure out a way to resolve that. We're just going to take that as it is and then do this fourth wall thing. And then she shows up or whatever. And then they meet Kevin the robot, which I thought was
kind of strange.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you bleep that.
A freaking
a robot.
A robot.
And here's my thing on that. This is my thing, right? Like, I'm the Marvel guy. If I was the Star Wars guy, and there was a Star Wars movie in which Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader stopped fighting with the lightsaber for the sake of the universe and for the sake of their family, whatever, and stopped it and took the thing off and was like, yeah, why are we fighting? And it just like fucking opened up a door and it was like ILM and like all the people were there like putting models together and stuff. And then George Lucas comes out. He's like, hey, aren't you guys supposed to be fighting? And they're like, yeah, we don't feel like doing that. Why don't we just go ahead and talk our feelings out? He's like, oh, you like, I would hate being a Star Wars fan at that point. And that is what I felt when I watched that. Like, I'm like, hold up, chick. You a second tier Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just come out there, break the fourth wall because you feel you on Disney Plus. You ain't even on the cinema. And you got to do this whole thing, turn the guy that made my dreams come true into a robot, and then say on top of that, I don't like the fact that the stakes are high. I don't like this. That's what put you on the map. That's what made you have a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an insult. That's when I was like, wow, as a fan, that's what fun storytelling is about. I don't want to see a story about your feelings and then how you work to resolve them by screwing with a dude on Bump. I did that, like, during the pandemic. Let me tell you, I could have told you how that ended with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, one thing real quick, I just want to say it was
I'm
cool.
done. I'm done. That's what I wanted to get out.
It was kind of cool to see her on the Disney lot. I was like, oh, it's a Disney Studios, yay.
It was, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it wasn't enough, but that was about it. I was just like, yeah, okay, that's cool.
I thought it was going in this direction, but when she pretty much derailed it,
But I'm gonna ask you this question: is like, was this entire series good storytelling?
Whoa, let's not even get to this entire series. Screw the entire series.
That's what leads to this particular thing. Because when y'all brought this thing up, I was trying to figure out, because I didn't catch that the same way as an insult to me as a fan.
You don't feel that?
I totally felt.
Well, that's good. I did. So
the Star Wars analogy, as you as a Star Wars fan, you didn't feel that?
No,
feel it.
Because I was trying to figure out.
Didn't feel it.
No, I didn't feel it.
Oh,
I was trying to figure out because I mean, in every episode they include a QR code to the comic that they based it on. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, to your point, yes, the 48-page sensational She-Hulk thing.
Yeah,
where she completely destroys the fourth wall and she's trying to find a replacement writer to take over her story for the next series of comic books. And I was like, well, maybe this is because, I'm a researcher. So I was like, okay, why didn't I like this? What was the deal with this? It was really weird to me when I first saw it.
Because it was very Wayne's World-ish.
Well, yeah.
Wayne's World-ish.
But then she almost looked at the camera and was like, duh, are we really going to end it like this?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the
happy ending.
Yeah. I have no problem if you stray from the formula that you've built up. But at the same time, I don't blame you for not fulfilling on the formula that you have developed. And that's where my question about bad storytelling comes. Like, you brought in all these things. I mean, fuck. They brought up the Wrecking Crew. I was like, I remember the Wrecking Crew from the cartoon series. I'm a big fan of the cartoon series.
Yeah, same here.
I know the Wrecking Crew. I'm hoping they're the same in the comics. That wasn't the Wrecking Crew I know.
But that was the weapons they used.
Yeah, it was
but that's
weapons
not how they looked.
Yeah, and then one of them freaking becomes like, he's...
Yeah,
Same with
Like, come on.
Intelligentsia. It wasn't Intelligentsia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of those pieces I was a little confused with. Is like,
But
I wasn't a big fan of the finale and how it ended and wrapped it up and everything, but I wanted to figure out why they decided to go this way. It's like, what decision made this happen?
I think, if you want my personal opinion, I think that they realized they pigeonholed themselves into a finale that they couldn't do, and they went that way. That's my personal opinion. Because at the end of that episode, that made the whole series pointless. Because it built up to something.
And it didn't resolve.
And it exactly resolved to nothing. Like, you can't do that. And look, I could break a fourth wall all day. Look, I tell you what, you can look at the credits.
Look at the camera and break the fourth wall.
Look, tell you what, you can go into the She-Hulk credits, and there is a guy. His name is Carlos Pelaguat. He was an artist. I knew that guy before he actually got into Marvel. I was like a big person that would do the comic form stuff. I could spot talent. And I would reach out to this dude before he was picked up. Like, man, you good. The point is this. All right? I love this stuff. I gave that stuff a shot. I gave that book a shot because there was a guy that I knew that I didn't know would do something big. And when I saw his name on the thing, I supported it. So I've seen this thing reach.
Get him on the show and let him answer for this.
I'm about to. Well, he didn't make the show. He just drew the comic.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
Everybody
responsible.
Stays after school for this one.
I'm just saying, this is. Look, you want to zoom that thing on me one more time.
All right, yeah.
Zoom it one more time.
Break the fourth wall again. All right.
One more time. This is my brand, okay? I got a shirt right here that says Mark. Look.
We can't see the shirt.
You want to see it?
Yeah, do it again.
See that right
there?
See that?
You got it.
Wait, hold on. No, my bad.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, your titty isn't quite in frame.
Get the titty right there.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Right there. Boom. All right.
Chocolate.
So I get pissed when someone tells me, as a person that is the storytelling guru that knows how hard it is to put a story together, to just destruct the story, especially when you have millions upon millions of people watching your product. And that was totally a slap in their face. Pull me out.
Look, let me tell you what the ultimate slap in the face was, and I'm surprised that y'all didn't catch on this. That this was a kind of a middle finger to the fanboys that are complaining about
in this episode.
Yeah, it's totally a slap in the face. So after we just get introduced to this little club of people,
right,
that hate She-Hulk because why does she have powers? And that's so unnecessary. And she didn't do anything to deserve those powers. She didn't do anything to make those powers mean anything. And, she just gets granted this. And they make fun of all these people for this. What does She-Hulk do when she gets in and sees Kevin? She makes the exact same criticism that every other fanboy made by saying, wait a minute, we're just going to give the bad guy superpowers? How hacky is that?
Yeah.
How stupid is that? We're just going to give a guy superpowers? Wait, why would we do that? That's so formulaic. Captain America did this. This is so super soldier serum stuff. And basically makes the exact same argument that everybody else is making to say why they shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, it's so bizarre. It's so out there. It's such a, like, I'm surprised y'all didn't pick up on that.
No, I didn't, because they killed the end of it.
Because I didn't take it like that. I have a theory that this is maybe a creative's plea for help.
Well, here, you know what?
Okay,
I'm going to give y'all my email address, and then I'll help you write the show.
No, it's because we know Disney has taken over all these things.
Sure.
And they're purely
Come
business.
on.
And creatives are being stifled to fulfill some kind of bottom line.
Well, but it's a based off of a comic. Look.
No, but it's like if they have them, they even say it in the thing. If they have them making decisions based upon what a business person wants them to do, to meet some kind of merchandising or whatever kind of marketing ploy, then they're stifled.
But
maybe
they're
they
not.
can't do it.
But they're not. It's based off a comic book. You don't have to create anything that hasn't been made. It's already made. Pick an issue.
I was going to say, like, you would have my support on this one, Kevin, if they did do the typical Marvel ending that she, like, was like, why the hell would
formulaic kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to her credit, she was right. It was kind of formulaic. It's like, really? This is where we're going? This is kind of lame.
But that's what you built.
But at least give me a big CGI fighter, something, send me home happy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Do
see,
something.
You had the Abomination. I didn't
can't
care
disagree
about the
with
dude.
that, you know,
Yeah.
because they built up a story that they did not fulfill on, and then they just reneged on it, basically. But at the same time, I have no problem straying from formula. But at the same time, it's like I think they can't.
But they did. Like, that's what
they
I'm
did.
saying.
That's the thing. They did, but
They did.
but it wasn't as impactful as I think it should have been.
But you can't.
If they're going to do it,
I guess what I'm saying is, like, I don't see how you can say they're not being allowed creative freedom when they just did something we've never seen a Marvel series do.
Yeah, as a brand, that was bad.
I mean, and it bucked any trend. It was original. It wasn't good original. It was bad original, but it was original. So we met Kevin Feige as a robot. She-Hulk walked out of our screen.
Yeah.
We saw her in front of
Everybody in the studios.
the Disney Studios. It's like, say what you will, but I don't see how you can say that they were bound in some kind of a way where they couldn't be allowed to be as original. It seemed like they went pretty goddamn original in this.
I just want to say, though.
yes. At some point, they had the writers even say, "This is what Kevin wants.
But this is bull.
This is why we're writing it like this because this is what Kevin wants."
Because it's a parody of
what they've
like,
already done.
It's like they're saying our hands are shackled, and they're parodying. Like, yeah, we'd love to give you something new and original, but we can't, and so they're parodying it. But it, to me,
But when they do, then people get upset.
What was the new thing? I mean, you talk about her hooking
No, it's
up
not.
with dudes?
The new thing is not sticking to the formula.
But this is... Okay, wait.
well, right, there's not sticking to the formula, and there's just giving us this Deus Ex Machina kind of
ending.
It was
ending.
a really weird ending.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a terrible ending, but I just don't see how you don't see it as a shot at people who have criticized Marvel movies in the past.
Come on, this your brand. If this is your brand, you don't like this. Just saying. If this is your brand.
It's an ultimatum like that.
Not to you, but I'm just saying. But that's how it is.
People, I don't know.
It should be.
I can't,
No, I'm
not
I can't
saying it's
accept
an
it as
ultimatum.
No other brand that Disney owns comes out and tells them, "Hey, look, this is just how we tell everything and whatever." No, like that's just turning in on yourself. That's how I view it, and I don't see any other brand that they've had to do that. If you show me that, I will totally watch it. But I have not seen that.
Well, that's where I go back to like the storytelling in the recent series has not been that strong. I mean,
100%.
we haven't been getting anything. I mean, anything solid, and that's probably why it brings me to my sadness with how this whatever phase of MCU we're in hasn't really drawn me in, just because it's
100%.
That's fair.
It's just weak.
That's
I don't know.
made it weaker.
Yeah, and that's my problem with it. Is like what they're basically saying is like, look, we just found out that Blade has been delayed. The director even left the dang film. A couple of movies got delayed on Marvel, like key movies.
Like Deadpool.
That would be. I would put that
Armor
up there.
Wars is out of the picture. I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Right. It's like their studio is in flux right now, and the new stories they're telling aren't resonating very well. And
Exactly.
again, that's why I took this as kind of an FU to everybody else to say, what do you mean you don't like the fact that instead of continuing to tell stories about Thor and Captain America and Iron Man and stuff like that, we're giving you the B team. Mm-hmm. And you don't like the B team? Screw you. That must mean you hate this kind of people or that kind of people.
Yeah.
It couldn't possibly be that what you hate is recycling the lead character. And again, if you got 6 Spider-Men, you've got no Spider-Man.
Nah.
You know, when you've got Spider-Man and Miles Morales and
female Spider and Gwen
Spider-Woman
Stacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you have so many, when everyone has spider powers, who gives a damn?
Yeah.
And that's the critique that people have been kind of...
It kills you.
It does.
And
also, it just kind of paints She-Hulk in a bad light. I kind of felt like painted She-Hulk in a bad light because all of a sudden she goes all Karen like and decides that she's going to complain to the manager. It's just like, excuse me, who's in charge here? This sucks. Like, isn't this supposed to be a progressive show? What does she do? She marches into the manager's office and demands that they change everything for her, right?
Yeah.
That's why
think, you know what,
I'm glad you getting that thought out because
I think they were trying so hard to replicate whatever happened. What is that, issue 48 or issue 50 that they had published up? That's what they came up with. That's the best they could do in a television universe.
it just if that
Because it was funny because that issue they have like her like a part of her story told in like Popeye's comics version.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of hilarious.
and that's what
You
makes
know?
it funny. It makes
Yeah.
it different.
And I think that they were trying so hard to replicate that kind of thing that it didn't quite work.
I mean, I like this. To still stay on the episode. I like the '70s Incredible Hulk intro.
Oh, that was awesome.
that was great.
Dude,
Yeah.
that freaking hooked me in. I was like ready for this.
You know,
See?
when they showed, I was like, why didn't they just do this?
Just do that.
Yeah, that works.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, like because stay true to the brand. That's just they didn't do that.
I thought that was really cool.
I loved
Yeah.
it. I was like, I want to get invested in the stuff that I cannot see, especially if I can see it in the privacy of my own home. That's awesome. And I get that they have to explore these characters, like you said, B characters.
Yeah.
They totally are. But if you want to get a chance to explore them and say, hey, look, man, if you still love the universe, check this out. You ain't got to go and pay a huge price, get a big bucket of popcorn, all that stuff. But we think that you'll love these people, and if you see them somewhere else, you'll still do a pop. That's a wrestling term. You'll cheer, right?
Go nuts.
Yeah, you'll still go nuts. And I respect that. I respect that business logic, but I don't know. That's just like, don't shoot yourself in the foot.
My idea is like I think they need to split the MCU up into the television universe and the theater universe, only because they've already mentioned there are going to be certain characters that are going to be only neighborhood based versus other characters that are going to be like universe based, you know? So like Spider-Man and Daredevil, they're going to be all neighborhood related
Luke
characters.
Cage, Jessica
Yeah, look at
Jones.
those kind of guys. And so I could see She-Hulk fitting into them. Well, I think even Miss Marvel is considered a neighborhood superhero versus like the international ones like, you know, Falcon, Captain America, those guys. Thor, all those guys.
This is my last statement then. If to go back to what we talked about before, if they're going to raise the prices and stuff, I hope they take that money that we are spending as hard-earned citizens that have to work to death to make this profit, to give to someone else. Please put that in some serious superheroes that I can get behind in the story, please.
You know,
Well, that's the thing. It's like if people keep watching it anyway, then it's either that, you know, they're gonna nobody's watching it. If they
Because-
decide not to, then they're just not gonna do it.
because I don't know if you ever watched Malcolm X, but you know, there's that scene in Malcolm X where Elijah Muhammad holds up a glass of water and like, because he put ink in the water, or he's like, look at it, black, cloudy, you know. Like, but if you offer this to people, they'll drink it because they're thirsty.
They're thirsty.
Yeah.
But if you offer them a choice and you give them this dirty water and this clear water, they'll choose the clear water every time.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is that Disney owns it, and this is the only version of these characters that you're going to get.
But if they're only giving you the inked water, and nobody takes it, then they don't have to give you water.
I just
But
started watching
that's
Titans
the problem
on
is that
TNT.
everyone's paid for Disney Plus. It's already been pre-purchased.
Yeah.
They're going to watch it because they feel like they need it. I watched it. I had my concerns, and I still watch the series all the way to the end.
I
because I'm
did the
same
same way.
here.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Same
get
here.
better. It has its moments. It's gonna really get good. Hopefully, it was better than Moon Knight. I will say that. Like, Moon Knight kept me for 2 episodes, and after that, it's like, okay, we're off the rails here. It kept me around, but I mean, but that's it. That's the only version you get.
This one gave me a lot of hope to keep watching the next one, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. You know?
I just think it's funny how much, and again, I'm going to go back to my original point about all this, which is that I think this is hey, either like what we do or shut the hell up. That's how I took this thing, and I just think it's funny how much they applaud and appreciate the fanaticism of the average fan, the devotion, the love that they have to one of their intellectual properties. And they love the fact that my God, this is a guy who will spend $250 on a lightsaber. He'll spend $120 on a plastic toy robot because he loves it so much and he so appreciates the source material and he wants something just like it. And so we're going to sell it to him and thank you so much, fan. And here you go. And we're going to sell it you at a premium. But God forbid that exact same fan with that exact same passion and devotion steps up and voices their displeasure with something when Disney tinkers with that source material in the slightest way and they say, no, that's not exactly how they look at it. Stand back because they'll label you a lunatic, a loser, you hate women, you're a racist, whatever they'll label you for not liking what they do. They'll reduce you to the smallest possible thing that you can. And why? Because they know we'll always come back. Because they own what we love.
And I'll take it a step further. Right. It's like, either like what we love or we just don't do it.
Yeah, well, it's easy.
That's it. I mean, we just don't do it. I mean, when's the last time you heard about Bucky and Captain America?
You don't.
Well, I haven't heard about it over a year. It's like, what the hell?
Oh, you Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah. They passed on the mantle to Falcon. He's Captain America now.
Yeah,
it's like,
confused,
I haven't heard a damn thing in a year.
No, it's very easy to tell people, I feel what you feel, but it's far more harder to empathize with them. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, when you're dealing with database-driven business people, I have issues with that. It just doesn't. Great. It looks great on paper, but in reality,
doesn't compute.
No, it doesn't compute. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So She-Hulk ended. That's how we feel about it. Yeah.
Should we get Lee Lostavica an opinion in all this?
Sorry,
he flatlined, so I assumed he didn't have anything.
Oh.
I really don't have anything to add to the conversation. I was happy just to listen into it. So
what did you think? Now listening to the conversation.
Yeah, you're a listener. You're coming from the listener ears. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the problem I have is that I was trying to figure out what the controversy was, having not watched 7 or 8 other episodes.
Did you read about a controversy? You call it a controversy?
No, but I knew that we were going to be talking about this, and obviously it had struck a nerve.
Okay, I got you.
Right? So I'm like, okay, so what is it they have a problem with, or what offended them about this, or what made this a topic they wanted to discuss? So I kind of thumbed through the last episode, and I saw the part where she went to confront.
You thumbed through the last episode. What the heck does that mean?
Okay, this.
Did you have it like a two times speed?
I just was kind of like, I watched for like 5 minutes. I'm like, there's nothing going on here. And I watched for another.
And you fast forward? Oh, come on! You like got the cliff notes.
I'm about to close my laptop right now.
You want to do a fourth wall break?
But I saw the part I think that Eli was upset about.
What part was that?
This whole thing where she went in and complained her.
She went what?
Like,
but I think his issue was a little bit
to the manager.
It was a little bit thicker than that, though.
No, that was I said that she went all Karen and complained to the manager.
Yeah, I had a.
His was a little more deep than that.
Oh boy!
Yeah, well, of course, because they're a lot more invested in it.
Of course, but who cares what that dude says?
Am I the only one that took that as a slap in the face to Marvel fans who complain about, hey, y'all aren't giving us new characters with new stories and new cultural origins or anything like that. Y'all are just recycling the same characters but giving us lesser versions of it. I'm the only one who saw that.
I didn't take it as a slap in the face, but I can see how you could take that as a slap in the face easily. Based upon what they've done. No, I could definitely, because I can't fault you for it.
Yeah.
I can't fault you for it, but it's like, initially that wasn't my reaction.
Because I was like, maybe I got to re-examine how I'm looking at this, that if I'm the only person who saw this, because I definitely took it as a slap in the face to anybody who's like, wait a minute, you're not giving us anybody new and original. You're just recycling the same powers over and over and over again and giving them to... Like, when I saw Scar Hulk, like the son of the Hulk, I'm like, oh, God, who gives a damn?
Yeah, it's too early for that.
Yeah, like, come on.
That's
man.
way too early.
Like, I really didn't expect that to happen at the backyard dinner or whatever. I thought she eliminated that from the whole ending. And it's like, when he just pops up just anyway, I was like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah, that character's not that interesting. I mean, they do a whole...
I mean, I'm glad that Hulk smashed.
Well, Hulk will always smash.
I want to know who he smashed.
Well... someone that can really take it.
Well, that's what I want to see that.
I would think so. I would think that happened was when he was on that planet and he was a gladiator. And this is back when he was not Smart Hulk or whatever the hell he is now.
He was just like Thug Hulk. And
Well,
he's
yeah.
like, all he did was
Like the champion gladiator.
dude, yeah.
And so I'm sure they brought women to him at his
concubines.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And
Time out. Is that in the comic books?
What?
that's
Like who he
that's
banged?
an educated. I don't know who he bangs, but when he bangs, he
He
moves. He
moves.
moves.
He moves. Kagaloosh. I'd
I
have
just wanted to ask if that was in comic
to
books.
be
'Cause I'm
fair.
not to find that now.
To be fair, I never read the Scar books. I
and
mean,
it would
it's-
never interest you, probably.
Why
no,
would you?
Okay.
right?
That's
Exactly. It's
Why
like
would you?
That's
it's
fair.
like Dakin, who's the son of Wolverine. I'm just like, come on, really? I gotta figure this out. But I mean, if you want me, and he has a cartoon.
It's like, what do you want
in
to watch?
Disney Plus.
You want to watch Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein,
Right.
the Ghost of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
No, I just want to watch friggin' Frankenstein.
Right.
Just give me one character with one unique set of abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just photocopy the original and try and pass it off as
The original.
yeah, exactly.
I know. I feel
Again,
it.
having said that, She-Hulk is one of the best.
Best premise
Yes,
for a
she has a
copy.
great premise, but
Yeah.
they failed her and the actress because I thought the actress did a phenomenal.
Oh yeah, she's
job.
great. I like Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, no, I
But
think
you know what's funny about? I was going to
think
point
so,
back.
yeah.
It's like the comic book that they have linked, number 50 from 1989. They have a section where it basically is like she's checking out people's different writers' adaptations of her story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one guy that comes out. I forget the name, but he does like the whole little thing. He's like, oh, it's little She-Hulk, it's little Doom, it's little Spider-Man. So they're all kids,
Right.
And I thought it was freaking hilarious. So when you said that, I was like, oh, that's funny.
yeah. See, I mean, to what Danny was saying before, I knew that the comic worked weird like that, but I never really thought of it as far as, well, here, this is a offshoot and whatnot. But I knew it was going to
That's
be
how I
weird.
looked at it.
But here's the thing,
Wasn't
though.
it tough to maybe adapt what they do in the comics to like the television medium? Maybe.
Nah, because I've said this before.
I would say yes.
No,
I
no,
would say
because
I could buy
you
that,
can't.
though.
But you can't be. I've said this before. You can't be a comic purist at this point. Like I was when this thing started, and then they would do stuff, and I would get mad, and I would be like,
But the spirit of, do you think they captured the spirit of what the comic was trying to do in
Well,
the television
no,
medium?
no.
Well, here's where I would say I think Kevin is right, where it's hard to do this because there's always that sense of, okay, the actor has done his legally contracted 5 or 6 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to move on. Fuck, Iron Man was created in the 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still a character. There is no scenario by which Batman retires, Iron Man retires, Captain America retires,
Superman,
Nobody
Wolverine.
goes away. But in this new age that we're dealing with, the actors who portray this, they're like, I've done my movies. I'm done with this. I want to make my artsy fartsy flick.
Right.
And then if I fail, I'll come back. And I think that is a limitation that you have, is that you have actors who aren't willing to commit to a character. And so they're like, okay, we've done the Iron Man story arc. We've done the Steve Rogers story arc. Now we need to move on to the next character, where people are like, no, we like this character. Let's continue on. Captain America never dies. Iron Man never dies. And even when they die, they never die.
They never die.
They never really die. They're like
Right.
Michael Myers, Jason, whatever. If they die, it's only so you can miss them so they can come back.
But
You know, that's
Spider-Man was a perfect Spider-Man No Way Home. Perfect
Yes.
Well, I was
example
going
of
to
that.
say that. I was supposed to say
Oh,
James,
right on.
James Bond.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
there's so,
yeah.
I look forward to see who's going to be the next Bond.
Yeah.
You know, but
Oh, that's
the
a
character
perfect
James
example.
Bond still lives on. So why couldn't we have done that with the other characters?
Yeah.
Because
You
I think in their mind, they're like, well, we're going to have to recast it. That's going to be a thing. So why not? If we're going to recast it, we'll recast it, but we'll recast it with one of the lesser versions or the subversions, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, from the comics. So instead of getting Hulk, you'll get She-Hulk. Instead of getting Captain America, you'll get Falcon. Instead of getting
Man,
Black
I don't-
Panther, you'll get Shuri.
Shuri,
Instead of
yeah.
getting,
And to those people, I was like, it's
Iron
no,
Man, you'll get Ironheart.
it's
Yeah.
like no disrespect if they replace the actors. Like for James Bond, Sean Connery is always the first Bond. He set the standard. But I know because people will say, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man." It's like, yeah, but there could be another guy like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Robert Downey Jr. will always be the first Iron Man, but who's to say that nobody else could play that character?
Superman's a perfect example.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
go
yes,
with that.
yeah, there's another one. Batman, even
Superman.
Batman, yeah.
many Batmen.
Yes. DC has it. Marvel doesn't understand
Yeah.
that. Yet.
I think the problem of it is that, I think Marvel understands something DC doesn't, and DC doesn't understand something that Marvel doesn't, which is that, look, if this storyline doesn't work, come up with another one. There's a new Batman. Now it's Robert Pattinson. Now it's Christian Bale. Now it's Michael Keaton. Whoever it is, there's a Ben Affleck. Whatever, there's always a Batman. With them, it's like we understand how to do episodic storytelling that'll get people hooked into a universe,
True.
whereas you guys can't connect the universe to save your life. I mean, y'all... It's like plugging in an extension. It's like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation trying to make their universe work, whereas Marvel does it pretty seamlessly.
To the world.
I love it.
Marvel does it very seamlessly, but the problem is like now they got so many people who aren't coming back, and it's like if you're going to do these transitions, you got to do it slowly. Get us accustomed to it. But when you're replacing Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Black Widow, all these superheroes that we've come to know and love
And built up.
and now there's a wholesale change. You're not doing it slowly. You're slowly integrating these new characters. No. It's a wholesale. It's like hockey. Old line out, new line in.
Yeah.
Time
Hey,
out.
and it's gotta be seamless. Gotta be seamless.
Our one
complete
connecting,
switch.
our one connecting thing is Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's with that? He's just helping.
I like
prisoners-
Wong.
He's helping
I love
prisoners
Wong.
break out of prison. It's crazy.
Dude, that's a trip. I don't get that. I love Wong.
what they
I
did with
love Wong.
Abomination. I thought Abomination.
I love that character. I want to be around. I like what he did. No, I
did
agree,
too.
Danny. I
Yeah.
think that was.
Yeah.
100%.
And I actually wanted to see him and the Hulk kind of talk it out because when he sets it up, it's like, wait, this is not what you think. I want to see a little Titan tussle, and then I want, She-Hulk to be like, wait, Bruce, stop.
The whole time I'm
He's
watching
okay.
this-
They
Yeah.
gypped you.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, just please don't let Abomination be the bad guy. Just please don't let Abomination be the bad guy. I love this version of I've never
Yeah.
seen this before. This is so unique and this is so cool.
I
and
thought
this
it
is
was
such a
great.
Great direction. Please don't let him be the bad guy. Please don't let him be the bad
And
guy.
I liked how he made himself accountable for his actions. Which is
Yeah.
fine. I was totally good with that, but I did want to see him and Bruce kind of resolve differences
They're about to scrap it.
because they did. They totally scrapped it. Because we never got that resolution after what was it 2008?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Oh, what
it's a
was it?
different
Whatever, yeah.
actor. Yeah,
Yeah,
Incredible
but still.
Hulk. Incredible
but
Hulk
still,
movie.
yeah. But I would like to have seen, She-Hulk be like, Bruce, it's okay. Abomination, my client. He's totally cool. He's a different, changed person. All that kind of stuff.
I would have.
And then help
flipped.
Bruce help his issues with his son and whatever.
Well, yeah, that they could have saved that for season 2 because it would have went to season 2 if they had played that finale out. Even if it would have been kooky, I would have taken that because of who they had involved and what they had built up. I mean, the Titanic chick was in there. Like, all the enemies and all the heroes were in there.
I wanted to see more Titania.
Who don't want
Yeah.
that? Who don't want that if you're a
But
fan?
I agreed with what she said. It was kind of hackneyed. It was kind of like, wait, really? This is where it's going?
Yeah.
Like, I was hoping for something a little bit more satisfying than this, but when she stopped it, I'm like, yeah, that's right. This kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. But then when we get nothing.
It was
when we
an
get
abrupt nothing. It was an abrupt nothing, too. Yeah, I was like...
everyone's already in handcuffs. It's like Scooby-Doo at the very end.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I thought it was funny. It's like, what's the cheapest way to do this? And then cut, boom, straight to the thing.
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
broke.
yeah.
I left. It's like I pulled out early. I was like, oh,
Oh, I know, right?
what the hell?
Ain't nothing worse than that.
I
No.
even love the joke because Eli and I would talk about the series like on the side, not on the show, but on the side where I was like, you ever notice whenever she switches back and forth to She-Hulk, they just cut away? It's like they're trying to save money or something like that. And then they
And they
pretty
acknowledge
much
it,
say
yeah.
it
They
on
said
the
it.
show.
Yep.
Yes, we're trying to save money.
Oh,
While doing a price hike at the park. I don't get the logic.
Maybe that's the connection. Maybe that's why all the price hikes happen because, like, you saw She-Hulk, right?
Yeah.
We need money.
We need
you want
money.
to see a She-Hulk transition?
You want to see better animation for She-Hulk?
Yeah.
This is what you gotta do.
Please, Mr. Chapek,
Jeez. No, they
take
had
your
3 of them
band
in
full
there,
of
too,
money
yeah.
and just give it to them.
Yeah, they had She-Hulk, they had Abomination, and they had regular Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to pay for all that.
And then they had the Son of Hulk up in there.
Yeah, they had the Son of Hulk.
And
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Look, can I
That's at least $1,000.
It was a lot.
I know Kevin Feige will never listen to this, but Kevin, congratulations to you for allowing yourself to be made a little fun of there. That was funny. That was very cool the way you did that. It was very unique.
Don't take that man for that. Don't do that.
I really hope you have an ace up your sleeve, sir, because this is not hooking people between Inhumans and Eternals.
Yeah, let me
and,
tell you.
I mean, outside of Spider-Man: Homecoming, and again, that was built
No
off
Way
the
Home.
back. I'm sorry, you're right. No Way Home. That was built off the back of the return of Andrew Garfield,
Tobey Maguire,
Alfred Molina, William Dafoe.
Jamie Foxx.
Yes, there was a lot of people that movie was built off the back of. That movie was, in a sense, multiple years in the making, and that's what made it a success.
Mm-hmm.
Your storytelling, not good, sir.
No, you need some help.
Please.
And you known for that. Don't give your best hand away. That's
Yeah,
I
don't
done
let the
said it before.
businessmen, don't let the data crunchers tell you otherwise.
Don't let the
look-
people tell you that. Don't open it up and do it too early.
Dude,
Let them love you first.
I'll say this, man. It's like I haven't made it past the second episode of Andor. Kevin, don't make me do this to your episodes, man.
Dude, I haven't even watched
I watched
Andor.
2 episodes. I watched the first one. I was like, okay, maybe I'll give the second one a chance. I watched the second one. I'm like, this. I'm not. It's not enough to freaking put me in.
How much further backwards can you go?
So I don't want to see that happen in the Marvel universe. It make me feel like that. Not that She-Hulk did that to me yet, but it didn't really leave a positive feeling after it was done. I felt it was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know.
I watched that. I'm like, wait, let me get this straight. The side character in that one movie that bridges the gap between the prequels and the beginning of the original trilogy, we're gonna go to a side character.
You're talking about Andor? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Cool,
like,
too.
yeah, I'll wait until it's all there, and then I'll try to binge watch it. And if I get out of it, I get out of it.
That's where I'm at.
I mean,
I'm like, I'm gonna wait.
It's like, again, they couldn't be telling us anymore. We have no new stories to tell. We're trying to make every story fit in this formulaic box that you love.
Yeah. I don't know. So I know some of the listeners like it. I'm curious
I hope
to know.
so. And I will give it a shot at some point, but it's just.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Danny. I'll make it there eventually. I'll watch all of Andor. I haven't yet. You know?
But
blame
you know
you.
what? We're the problem. We are the problem because we see something, we're like, this isn't as good, but let's keep watching it in the hopes that it turns out to be something better. And
it gives them their data point, and that's all they want.
That's all they care about.
Well, it's either that or reality television, and I'm not a fan of the Kardashians.
Yeah,
They got your click, they got your download, they got your ticket, they got your resort
Nielsen
reservation.
rating.
They've
Yeah.
got it until, again, negative consequences don't come along until there have been negative feelings towards something that caused people to act out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, guys, I'm curious to know what you guys think about She-Hulk, the series. I know we hadn't talked about it much on this, but now's your chance to spew your guts upon it. Let us know what you think. Honestly, let us know, man. We want to know, and we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that discussion. And look, MagicOurWay.com is the way to go if you want to learn about our social media links, past episodes, and other discussions regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you want to share your opinions, and all opinions are always welcome on the show, you can do so through the following ways. Email us at show@magicourway.com, or you can call or send us a text message. Just I did say text us at 1-815-A-WEEKEND. That is 1-815
Mo Weekend
669-4226. And we have a couple of guys do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we have Eli does things with comics.
Oh, man, yes. I appreciate the support that I can get. www.ivorycomics.com is where you find all the work that I produce, starting with The Molly Be Damned, Project Geisha, and Savages. So you got pirates, you got vigilante geishas, and you have security guards with high-tech weaponry that deals with like superpowered animals in a zoo with jetpacks. It's
Good stuff.
It's good stuff.
I got a copy. Thank you, sir.
Got a copy.
Good stuff.
I will send it to you, and then look. Look, it's all me. I don't have no big staff or nothing. It's just me.
Yeah,
You don't
get
have
it.
a big staff. You have a little staff.
I
No,
mean, you know,
he has a big staff.
that big. I see what you did.
He
there.
got a big
Yeah.
staff.
I don't want you to chase away them.
That's right.
bots.
Don't be modest.
Yeah.
I mean, shh.
Hey, look, guys, get his comic book. Leave a
Pay it.
rating or review wherever you review
Please.
comic books, man.
And leave comments and let him know. Like Lawyer Story, yes.
Big staff, yes.
No, wait. Patreon first before that comment. But that, yeah, I was always.
Hey, look, I'm going to help you this.
Yeah.
If you got a comic book store in your area, wherever you live, and you want to see Eli's comic books in there, let them know about him, man. And I'm sure he'll do a shipment out to that comic book store.
Yeah, I will
for you.
talk to them for you. I
Yeah,
have
they'll
done
hook
that
that
before.
up.
Thank
So
you.
if you think you need to spread the world, man, tell them that.
Yeah, and it's
Don't
full
be
color.
surprised when you say Eli Ivory and they look at you like that dude from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, who?
Tell them this is independent comics, man. Remember, independent film. This is indie, bro.
This is indie, bro.
This
Look,
is indie, straight indie.
look. I tell you what, it's indie, but it's still all good. I mean, fully colored, no ads except for the Magic Our Way podcast. Got to give love right there. But look, it's more pages than what you would get in one of the two big boys.
Bargain.
That's how I do it.
Bargain.
Because if I'm gonna slap it on the table, I'm gonna slap it real good.
More pages and War and Peace.
That's it. Keep reading. That's it. Blog posts and interviews, and so like
picture pages.
picture pages. You can write whatever you want in
You
there.
mean they get a pen with that?
If you want me to send it to you, I will do that. That's extra though. Because shipping and handling is tough.
Wait a minute. Like, so wait, maybe you could make like a promotion, like the first person that goes ahead and places an order for all the Ivory comics, you get the pencil that you use to draw.
I could do that.
Yes.
I could totally do that.
Yes.
I could totally
If
do
you
that.
want the pencil Eli Ivory used to draw any of those comics.
Yeah, hey, look, I got original pages as well.
No.
Oh, man.
You want
So
original page?
if
That's
you want
even
them to
better.
ship that, you can handle it.
I can do that. I can do that. And again, I know Kevin will talk about the Patreon because, like, I talk about comics and ideas all the time. I'm surprised Danny is still my friend at this point. I've, like, thrown so much stuff at this man. But, yeah, please ask him about that lawyer thing because, like, that's something we still talk about to this day. And that's, like,
still
20
debate it.
years in the making. I had the better idea. He didn't want to.
No, he did not have the better
I had a way
idea.
better idea. I had a way better idea.
I gave him an idea the other day, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And next thing I know, during the week, he's like texting me. He's like, "Yeah, because they could do this, and they could do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll talk about it when we see each other."
Wait a minute. All right, this is my promo right there. It was. I took your
promo's
idea
over.
and I helped
It's
the
over.
idea. Anyway, so I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish that.
www.ivorycomics.com.
Hashtag let Lee speak.
You ain't right now. Help your boy out. And of course, there's always a link to this podcast. You can hear all the madness and all the mayhem that these guys do. They put me
right.
through and make me do creative stuff too. So it's all linked. It's all linked. You get all of that good
Man,
stuff.
Like Zelda.
That's Zelda.
It's
Linked.
linked.
Tell
It's totally
Eli, tell
like
Eli
Metroid.
to stop standing in the way of my creativity.
Oh, yes.
If you want to
indeed.
see that comic book come to life, send us the email at show@magicourway.com.
Pay this dude-
Hashtag Eli.
Pay this dude to write it, then like I just have to draw it because I be trying to tell this man how to help his stuff out.
How what stuff out?
Boy. This is a Patreon story I'm
It's a
spelling.
Patreon story.
If you want to hear
Every
it.
one of his ideas is make a city go in the sky. Just FYI.
Okay, Avengers did it. Okay, Avengers did it. You even cop to that.
But they did it the same way. Could you do it better?
They actually, I had that idea before. I had it
Copyright. Wait. Copyright EliIvory.com.
Before that movie was made, I had that idea.
All right, copyright
You
Eli.
can attest to that, right? You give me that much credit. Can I have that much credit, Mr. Backup?
Wait, I'm sorry. Ivory Comics copyright.
I would say that one of Eli's original ideas was that it was a city that floated in the sky and would fly around, and then occasionally when they see a city it didn't like, it would just slam them.
Boom.
Just pound the city into rubble and then go back in the clouds and move on.
Sexual frustration.
Yes. So there was a city
Maybe.
that would
I was younger
slam
then.
into other cities and destroy cities.
It's-
So if y'all want to see that
like
as
Mission
opposed to the lawyer
Command on
story,
Atari.
let us know at ivorycomics.com.
I mean, you know what? Fair
Africans.com,
enough. I
yeah.
bet people be like, "Hey, what would make the city slam?" That's the question that we had to
Undersexed and overpaid.
Oh yeah,
that'll do it.
That is life. Okay,
All right, well, there you go.
move on to that.
So
Okay,
how quiet that was after the city explanation, right?
that's fair. But I had my
I think you wanted to leave it
Avengers
that
thing.
way.
You could have left it at that. Just
That was the original premise. God forbid I didn't see that there would come a day when Marvel would say, you know what, we can't have people fighting in big cities and destroying things anymore. We need a city that floats away.
I'm a prophet. Don't hate me for that. Just saying. I know my stuff. But no, he's a great storyteller. And look, if you get some of the books there's some of Danny's work for doing comics. He don't want to cop to it. He is an artist as well. He doesn't want to cop to it, but his work.
He does all our artwork.
Yeah.
You see all the artwork.
All
we
the
have?
artwork.
That's him.
And I got earlier artwork that he had that we worked on. So yeah, it's all love here. But it's tough love, but it's love nonetheless. And that's
Awesome.
what the Creative Juice is about. So go ahead, www.ivorycomics.com. Check that out. Outside of that, facebook.com are right there, Eli H. Ivory. Project Geisha has a page, so facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram right there, eivory504. Of course, I can be found on Twitter at Hancock166. So if you appreciate the madness, you just bringing me to Gladys, and this dude just keeps cheering me up. That's how mad I am. So thank you.
Can I tell you what I really want to know?
What do you want to know? What do you really want to know?
I want to know if Lee Las Vegas on the show.
Well, you know what? If the listeners want to take a vacation out to California to talk to Kevin Feige himself or Kevin the bot, Lee, tell them how to do this, man. How they book a trip with you?
Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. You can email me at lee@magicourway.com. On Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you got a friend in Lee Travel. TikTok, you got a friend in Lee. And if you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no.
Disney charges too much for people of Vika.
That was a mouthful.
I knew he was there. I
like
knew he was
it.
listening.
Yeah.
I knew he was out in the aether.
Silent but deadly.
Yes.
In addition, guys, look, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Plus, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show and hear about the story about their lost comic about legal defending of superheroes. Maybe you'll hear that story one day. Supervillains.
Supervillains.
Yes.
He's a scumbag, villain, defending lawyer.
Yes. Yeah. Pro bono, like Daryl?
Think of Better Call Saul.
No.
And
No, he does
I
it for money.
had this idea before Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
Think
we
of
were-
Better Call Saul with supervillains.
And I had the idea before that made this idea. He don't want to give
No,
me
he did. He had an idea
I had
soul that.
Don't save
Look,
it.
And guys, look, if you want to hear
That
the
is just
story,
between us.
You
That's
can
You're
see
hearing the tease. You
he's
can hear the
protecting
story.
this idea.
there is some tension. We want to hear that story. Patreon.com/Magic RM, man. Do it. And you can hear that story one day. And
Terrible.
look,
Don't pay for it.
and wait, you support
What's
the show.
wrong with you, sabotager?
Look, guys, any ways you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener. And we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, my weekends, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin Feige.
And I'm not Danny.
Magic out.